So now it says sketch the graph below, state the center, the vertices, the foci, and the equation, the asymptotes. First thing that we need to do here is get this into the right equation. So I need to get it equal to 1. So I'm going to just do some algebra work here. I'm going to divide everything by -9 so that I get a 1 over there. That leaves me with negative x squared over 1 plus 4y squared over 9 is equal to 1. So first thing that I notice is I want to rewrite this. It should be a subtraction. So I'm going to put the 4y squared over 9 first minus x squared over 1 second. The other thing that I noticed is that I have that 4 multiplied with the y. We just want to have the y squared and x squared alone on the top of our fractions, on the numerator of our fraction. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 1/4 so that I can get rid of the 4. So I have 1 over 4, 1 over 4. That's going to leave me with, up top I'm going to have y squared. On the bottom I'm going to have 9 over 4 minus x squared over 1 equals 1. So now this is the equation I'm going to work with to figure out my pieces so that I can graph. The first thing that I notice is my y squared is first. So that tells me the y squared is first, so that tells me that I am going to be vertical. A squared is always the first denominator, so my a squared is equal to 9 over 4. So that means a is going to be equal to 3 over 2. My b squared is equal to 1, so my b is equal to 1. So I'm starting to get the pieces of the puzzle that I need here to go ahead and graph. So I know I'm vertical, I have my a, I have my b, and I know my center is at 0, 0. So I'm going to have a center at 0, 0. So I can plot that. I'm going to be opening up and down. So my vertices are, let's plot these so we can make our box. So my vertice, my a value is 3/2. That's from the center to my vertices. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that. I know I'm opening up and down, so my vertice is going to lie on the y-axis. So I'm going to go up 1.5 and down 1.5. My b value, or my co-vertices, are a distance of 1 away from the center, so I'm going to go over 1. Now I can go ahead and plot in, or dash in, my box. And I can dash in, going through the corners and the center, my asymptotes. Now I can draw in my curves. It's opening up and down, so my vertices are up here. Oops, I'll do that in green. And I'm going to follow the asymptotes to help me guide my curve. So there's my two curves. I don't like the way my bottom one looks here. It looks too much like a V. I'm going to redo that. So it should be curved like a parabola, not look like an absolute value graph. So now I need to state my vertices. So my vertices, I'm going to use my A value. It's the distance from the center to the vertices. I moved up and down rather than back and forth, so I'm going to have vertices at 0 plus or minus 3/2. My foci are going to lie inside the curve. So I'm going to use my c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared to come up with my c value. The c value is the distance from the center to the foci. So I get c squared is equal to 9 fourths plus 1, which ends up giving me c squared is equal to 9 fourths plus 4 over 4, which is going to give me 13 fourths. So c is equal to square plus or minus square root 13 over 2. So that's pretty close to 2. So I'm going to have a foci in here. I'm just going to kind of estimate it. It's kind of crowded in here, so I'm just going to kind of estimate that. They lie inside. And so my foci is at 0 plus or minus radical 13 over 2. Now my asymptotes, since I am opening up and down or vertical, it's going to be y is equal to plus or minus a over b. So that's a over bx. So the a and the b flip when I'm vertical because now my rise is that a value and my run is that b value for my slope. So it's going to be y is equal to plus or minus 3/2 over 1 or 3/2 x.